What's good, everybody? RJ Sheldon here, back with another episode of BD Boys Edition. This is Off the Top Show. As you see on the screen here, got my good brother, James Muenchow, a.k.a. Jimmer. What's going on, my guy? It's a great day to be a
Oh,
Wisconsin fan, huh?
it's a great day. We had ourselves a great weekend on Saturday, and then we had a relaxing Sunday. Oh yeah, you dirty dog, you. We didn't even wait 30 seconds into the pot, and we're already waving towels. I love it. Uh, and we had a nice relaxing Sunday with no foot. Well, we had football, but it wasn't our football. And then we had a Monday. And usually we don't like Mondays, but we loved
You
this
don't?
Monday. This Monday was we usually don't like Mondays, but Mondays was a good day. So we got some good things to talk about here. Finally, some positives coming through here.
Man, positive. Let's go ahead and start here with our Milwaukee Brewers, man. We are two up against the team down the road, a.k.a. the Chicago
Woo!
Cubs. I mean, you want to just talk about
Mm,
a great series
mm.
for us, a great way to go ahead and make sure that we're doing what we need to do to show that we are the number one team in the league, but let alone that we're the number one team every time we play and step on that field. Talk to me about this Brewers right now, because, boy, last night was something.
Uh, the Brewers are doing what every successful team in the postseason has done, which is the stars are coming out and they're shining. Like in years past, it's usually been the no names in the playoffs that have kind of carried the Brewers, and your stars are playing average ball. This is not the case. This is the stars are shining, the role players are playing their role, and the guys who you expect to perform are performing, and not only performing at a very, very high level. It started off with Saturday, it started off where like, oh great, 1-0 crap. Like the hottest hitter for the Cubs hits a bomb right off the bat, and you thought that was a tone setter. Guess what? Before we even had a chance to get another round at the bar, we we were up 6-1. And actually, I think we got a couple rounds during that inning. Uh, it was incredible tone setting to start the game. You carried it out 1-9-3. You had the scare of Jackson Cheerio, but that's turned out to be all it was. And then Pat Murphy made the interesting decision to go with uh, uh, Aaron Ashby, who is not a starter for the Brewers, but he has been one of their better 2 to 3 inning guys. Sometimes only one, depends on the situation. But he's been their best guy in the month of September, so he went with the hot hand. And Aaron Ashby has started in the past. He came up through the ranks as a starter and then transitioned to the bullpen. It didn't look like it was going to work out so well because he gave up a 3-run homer, made a mistake pitch, and Suzuki made him pay for it. And in
Yep.
true Brewer fashion, the stars came out and said, "Guess what? It's going to be a brand new ball game right after this inning." And I was like, "Do you know how? I mean, because you've been there in a sport, I've been in there in a sport where you finally get some momentum against the team, and then all of a sudden they come back and you get it for maybe a half an inning, maybe one
Right.
drive, and it's right back to where you started. That's deflating for an opposing team. Like the Cubs just had to be like, "Are you serious? Like we just hit a bomb and got momentum, and we're we're back to nothing." And then guess what? The tables turned on that really quick because then you went up 4-3 with there were some tater shots last night. Oh my goodness. The Vaughn home run, which
Business was.
again, you were there. You were there. The Vaughn home run was interesting because that thing was so high. Like I was like, it's coming down at some point, right? I was watching on the TV, like Hap just kept going back and back and back. I'm like, is this thing landing anytime soon? And then it went 411 feet. I'm like, that was a moonshot. And then Contreras' home run, oh, he hit that. I was like, oh, good Lord. I was like, oh, the pimp job on that, I forever will
Jeez.
retweet that. That was cold. And then
Yes.
Cheerio just, that boy, I can't even imagine being 21 years old and then just hitting. I mean, you saw what he did in the postseason last year. I think he had 3 home runs in 3 games. Then he had 3 hits in 2 innings in game one, and he goes 1 for 3. I don't know if he went 1 for 4 last night. I think he went 1 for 4, but he had a 3-run bomb. Like,
Yeah.
you're 21 years old. You don't even know people at 21 don't even know what life is yet. Like, and this guy's just out there raking. So, and then the bullpen, very interesting and ballsy of Pat Murphy. After the Aaron Ashby, he went with Nick Mears for like 2/3 of an inning, which I thought was a little shocking because usually Mears has been his setup guy-ish, like a later inning guy. And then he went to Jacob Mizorowski, and I know how some people, Tony, have felt about Mizorowski and his control issues. That boy went out there and said, here's this fastball, just hit it. Just try to hit it. If you do, great. And that boy came out and pumped cheddar, like 100.
Yes, he did.
Oh my goodness. So, and he got through the order once. I think he got through a couple batters after that, which is all you want from a bullpen game from a guy who is used to going a little longer than some of your bullpen. And then Murphy gave it to Chad Patrick, and he looked electric. Like, he's been really great down the stretch too. And then he gave it to the 2 anchors of McGill and Uribe, and actually you have 2 guys that could easily close games now because McGill's been closing games for the Brewers all season until he got hurt. But Murphy put McGill in for the toughest part of the order before putting in Uribe, and Uribe just making guys look stupid. Like, they weren't even close to his stuff last night. So if you're the Brewers right now, obviously you're feeling really good, but you want to get this sumbitch over with. You just
Right.
want to go in game 3. You want to keep that momentum. Like, get some arrogance to say, like, we know we're gonna probably win. Like, you took the Cubs' best shots. Well, maybe not game 1. Game 1, you took a good punch in the first round, and then you came back and you just put them down. Game 2, that was their best shot. You got stunned on that shot. And guess what? You came back and you beat the piss out of them. Cubs are going to be a little bit more energetic, I feel like, because of the help of the home crowd. But with how the Los Angeles series is going with the Phillies, you just want to get this over with because then you can reset your bullpen, right? And your starting rotation right away. Because if LA wins, I'm not sure if they're going to hold up the LA Milwaukee series. If LA were to win tomorrow and wait for the AL series to catch up, I'm not sure on that. But even if they hold it up for a couple days, Freddie Peralta pitched on Saturday. If you win tomorrow and LA wins tomorrow, guess what? Freddie Peralta is going to be going probably on Saturday or Sunday or whenever you start that series, which is perfect because you want him pitching as much as possible because that's your best guy. And I guess the only downside is, and this isn't really a downside, is Brandon Woodruff may not come back. You don't know. We don't know the extent of his injury. It doesn't sound like it's good. They sound like they use the word maybe for the NLCS. So that kind of throws a wrench in your starting rotation. For game 3, it'll be interesting to see what Pat Murphy does because he didn't go Quinn Priester. And as we talked about in past episodes, we thought it was going to be Freddie Peralta, Quinn Priester, and then game 3 was going to be up in the air. Not Freddie Peralta. Game 2 is a bullpen game, and then Quinn Priester. Saw a stat where the Cubs were the best team against cutters and sinkers, which is Quinn Priester's bread and butter. So I think that's why he maybe skipped it. I don't know what they'll do. I don't know if Pat Murphy had a press conference today. I hadn't seen anything who's going to start. But I would like to think it's going to be Quinn Priester. But Quinn Priester's 2 worst outings of the year were against Chicago. Maybe they keep him
starting, by the
away.
way.
He is starting? Okay. It was only a matter of time before this. Okay. It was only a matter of time. I mean, you couldn't keep your second best arm on the bench until game 4 or 5. But hey, hopefully he just comes out and pitches a gem. Hopefully the Cubs get a little down. But the best thing for Milwaukee to do tomorrow is just get on Chicago right away. Take the crowd out of it.
Yep.
Hopefully Priester's got his best stuff, and that you just get out of there. Just win Chicago, get back to Milwaukee, wait for whoever's going to visit. Maybe Philly. I'm hoping Philly can maybe squeak one out against Los Angeles, just to kind of give the Brewers more rest time, because we obviously saw they had 5 to 7 days off in between the last game of the season and they're in game 1, and they looked like they were energized and ready to go. Like, it looked like a totally energized ball club, something we hadn't seen all September. But that's also because they closed the NL Central so early and they were only fighting for this 1 seed. But this is the importance of the 1 seed. Everything goes through Milwaukee. And you were at the crowd in game 2 with our friends who have been going to Brewer games since they've been 5 and gone to probably over 100, I would like to guess. Probably not, I exaggerate, but it's probably in the 50s to 70s range. And they had never heard, and they heard some big moments. They've been to the NLCS game 1 where Braun hit a home run right in the first inning of 2011. They said they've never heard American Family Field like that. They never have heard it. So that's the type of energy that they have. The Brewers are bringing right now, and the crowd is bringing right now. And let's just send Chicago's fans back. We're going to Chicago's home. Let's just send them home. You guys did an okay job. Welcome to Craig Counsell's style of managing, and have fun being at home and watching us hopefully whoop up on the Dodgers and go to the series. But the hardest game is going to be this one, because the Cubs are fighting for their lives. You got to try to win one of 2 games on the road. I do not want to come back to Milwaukee for game 5. But as we've said in the past about other sports who have 5 to 7 game series, the series doesn't start until an away team wins a game. So Milwaukee took care of their business at home. Go win your road game, because then the series is done. But still, it's going to be hard. Wrigley's going to be loud. Hopefully, again, first inning, maybe second inning, you get some runs on the board and just take the crowd out of it. Take the players out of it, too, because, again, body language shows a lot. Pete Crow Armstrong absolutely crashed out in the dugout last night. Like, he was pissed. So they're feeling it, too. Chicago knows, like, this. What are we got to do? Saw a lot of 1,000-yard stares from Chicago Cubs last night going, what are we got to do to beat this team? Like, this team just doesn't go away. So go win tomorrow. Just call it a day. Move on. Wait for whoever. I hope Philly wins 1 tomorrow. I don't know. I've been watching that series. LA kind of came alive all of a sudden, looking pretty mediocre for the entire year, but I think at this point Milwaukee doesn't really give a shit who they play. They're ready to face all comers and just take care of their business and play the way they want to play, and they're not worried about how other people are playing. That's the big difference this year. Is in years past, we were always Craig Counsell style of managing, and you saw it with game 2. He put in when the announcement of Aaron Ashby came out, Counsell switched up his lineup because he knew Ashby wasn't going to go 5 innings. He put Justin Turner in the leadoff spot to get the right-handed hitter when your hottest hitter, and you left your hottest hitter on the bench for 3 innings. Like, what? Like, where Pat Murphy, the Cubs threw out a left-handed hitter. Guess what Pat Murphy did? That's fine. We're just going to send out the guys that got us here. Vaughn was the righty, but still. Vaughn, Bryce Terang, lefty. Sal Frelick, lefty. Christian Yelich, lefty. Like, he's not putting in Andrew Monasterio for a right-handed hitter. He's not putting in he's not putting in right-handers to get the matchups. He's like, these are the horses that got us here. We're going to use them. Doesn't matter the situation anymore. And look what happened. It produced. It worked. So that's the difference, that this team is just up for the challenge. We're not going to think about what they're doing. We're going to take care of what we're doing. that's the big mentality shift that happened with Pat Murphy ever since he took over for Milwaukee, and now you're starting to see it. How guys are like, we don't really care. You could throw a lefty at us all day. We're just gonna go up there and handle our business. Where Craig Counsell goes, oh, they're throwing a lefty. We can't do lefty on lefty. It's just so over managing and overthinking, and it showed last night. I mean, it didn't look good for Pat Murphy early, but the players basically said, I got you, coach. And they beat the piss out of him, and rightfully so. Craig Counsell brought in his closer in the third inning last night, and he gave up a 3-run bomb. So, again, every move right now Pat Murphy's making looks good, except for the Ashby one, but when you win, no one's going to talk about it. And every move Craig Counsell's making right now looks stupid.
Man, let's just get the job done, man. 4:08 tomorrow. Let's just keep doing what we're doing, man.
Perfect.
You see that we got the
that
Milwaukee
8 o'clock
Magic.
start time was a little late, huh?
Oh yeah, I got back at about 2:30.
God, that was I was like, man, 8 o'clock? Oh my God. I'm like, ugh.
Oh yeah.
So when I saw 4 o'clock, I was like, oh, thank God, I can do that. I can do that. So, because these games are a little longer. I mean, I know that with the pitch clock, everything's moving, but man, I mean, when you're scoring 10 runs, 12 runs a game, total, that's a long game, no matter who you are. So, yeah, thank God it's 4:08. That was a rough time. When I saw you guys there, I was like, that kind of reminded me of the old days when we used to go to games with no pitch clock. You'd start at 6:40 and you wouldn't be leaving there till 11. It was, oof.
Man.
Whew. But God, that was a great atmosphere, and that's a time right there. So thank God it's at 4:08. It will be nice and done early. We can eat our dinner during or maybe after and celebrate, have some brats or something. We'll figure it out.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and move on over here to our Green Bay Packers. They had a bye this past weekend. They go ahead and face the Cincinnati Bengals. This was actually a very big week if you do look into, obviously, player in depth and all that good stuff. We got Christian Watson back running fully healthy. Some videos that I saw him looked very good. I know we got Tom and Banks back. I know they had helmets on practicing. I could be missing some other people. Obviously, that's why we got you to inform, obviously, all the people here. Talk to me about our Packers going into this. Joe Flacco signed. How ironic that he signed with the Cincinnati Bengals. But talk to us about our Packers and what we need to do, man, because, hey, we all can go ahead and see. Yeah. We all see last week we didn't like it, or the time we did play, we didn't like it at all.
No. If Aaron Banks and Zach Tom play, that's huge. That's all I care about. I mean, Christian Watson being back is really, really great. I think they're going to milk him a little bit because obviously you don't want to push him, but right. People have been saying he's looked good since camp, like moving, cutting, and everything like that. But it's not that I don't care about Christian Watson. Right now, your offensive line is in shambles, and now you're going to go face Trey Hendrickson. You need at least Zach Tom back. If Aaron Banks doesn't play, fine. I think at guard you can deal with that easier than tackle. So you need your line back because this is a game where, again, if you neutralize Trey Hendrickson, I love your chances because you didn't neutralize Myles Garrett against Cleveland, and look what happened. You couldn't run the ball against Cleveland. You got to run the ball against Cincinnati. I want to see more of what Matt LaFleur did against Dallas, which is find ways to get the ball in your playmakers' hands, whether that be Josh Jacobs. If Christian Watson does come back, Matthew Golden, I think Matthew Golden has played really well this year because he hasn't gotten many opportunities in the sense of balls thrown his way. But when he has, he catches them. Like he's shown that he's a sure-handed guy. Romeo Doubs playing fantastic football. You need to control. This is a game you got to go out and just show right off the bat we're better than you because the Bengals are not a good team. On paper, they look all right. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Yeah, but their offensive line is horrible. Micah Parsons should at least have 2 sacks this game. I mean, I shouldn't say that. The defensive line should have at least 3 to 4 sacks. I don't care who it is. I haven't heard much on Devontae Wyatt. I don't think it didn't sound like he was going to be back for a little while anyway. So this is a good game for somebody on the interior defensive line. Edgerrin Cooper bounced back. Secondary, guess what? You guys had a really bad game, and guess what? It's not going to get any easier with T. Higgins and with Jamar Chase. Y'all need to, like, defensive line's got to help you out. They didn't help you out against Dallas. They only had 1 sack. So they need some help on the interior or on the defensive line again. You just got to control the game at the line of scrimmage. I mean, again, if you've listened to me talk about what wins football games, it's the same thing from Pee-wees up to the pros. Control the line of scrimmage. If the Packers can control the line of scrimmage, which they did on the offensive end, I think pretty well. They scored 40 points. You can't say they didn't. They didn't do it very well on the defensive line. They gave up 40 points. I mean, it's not rocket science. So if they control it off the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, I can easily see this being a 2-touchdown win. And excuse me. I can see this being a 2-touchdown win only because maybe the Bengals score a garbage time touchdown. Maybe it was a 17 to 21 point lead. But I mean, you saw the Lions last week really just not have many problems with Cincinnati. Now, again, you got Joe Flacco coming in. I don't know if he's going to start. I have a feeling he's going to, but this isn't the first time Joe Flacco has walked into a room on a short week with a new offense and played well. He did it with Cleveland. How many years? I think it was last year or 2 years ago when he came in with 5 games left and he won and went 5-0 and led them to the playoffs. It's not going to be the last. I mean, you got to be aware of him. I mean, he's there to do one thing. It's huck it to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I mean, that running the football, the Bengals are not very good. So he's there to help their passing game. So again, control the line of scrimmage, get some pressure on Joe Flacco, and I think this will be an easy 17 to 21 point win. Maybe with that backdoor 14 points. I don't know what the line is on this game, but I think Green Bay will cover it. If it's 8, I feel like it's probably going to be like 8.5, 9. If it's in the double digits, now we're kind of flirting with some disasters if we're talking about betting, which I am a little bit of a betting man. So again, I just want to see what I saw from the first 2 weeks of the season, which is control, dominance, smart football, not overthinking it, but good offensive line play. Because the offensive line's been bad, but if you get Zach Tom back and Aaron Banks back, I think that's a really good start. And then get Josh Jacobs going like they did last week. So we'll see, but I feel like if you control the line of scrimmage, it's probably going to be a 14 to 21 point victory easily. I feel like it will be a comfortable one. Like we don't have much anxiety in this game. We shouldn't have much anxiety in this game. I would like to hope that because again, we had anxiety going into the Detroit game. We didn't really have much anxiety there. A little bit of anxiety going into the Washington game. Didn't really have much there. A little bit towards the end. The Cleveland game, I had no anxiety going in and then ended up having a lot of it. And then the Dallas game, I had a little anxiety going in and then I ended up having a lot there too. So maybe I should just go into this game having some anxiety and then I won't have any. So I don't know. What do I know? So, but we'll see. But I feel like this should be a 14 to 21 point victory.
No, I'm with you on that, brother. Just a dub's a dub. Packers are minus 14 right now. The under is 44.5. Yeah. So that's kind of.
Well, y'all pound that over. I'm going to tell y'all right now. Again, I can see a 35-10 game. I can see a 24-10. Is there a hook on that? Is it just 44 or is there a hook?
44.5.
Oh, now, damn. We'll see. Wait till the line moves on Saturday because people might, it might shift.
Scary.
That's a lot of wood to cover even in the NFL. Like, I don't care how bad teams are. Like, 14 points is a lot of wood. So if it dips down to 13.5, I'm curious because then you can get that 14 flat. But 14 and is it half or 14 flat?
14 flat on MGM.
Oh, then you get a push, but no one likes a push. We like to win. Maybe buy the half a point if you're really into that. I don't like buying points, but we're off on a tangent again. If it drops to if people take the 14 because everyone thinks Joe Flacco will turn this team around, hopefully then it drops down to 13 and a half, maybe 44 flat. Hammer the Packers then, but if it stays at 14, that might be a game you just stay away from. That 14 is a lot of points. So, but if you had a gun to my head, I'll take the 14 I'll take the Packers covering the 14. We're here for it. We're gonna win that.
There you go. Let's move on over here to the Wisconsin Badgers. They went ahead and faced the Michigan Wolverines. They lost 24-10. Some of you can go ahead and look at this game and be like, typical Badger game, typical this and that. To go ahead and actually cover that 17.5 against the Michigan Wolverines. Let me say that one more time. Michigan Wolverines in the big house. You go ahead and show some typical prominence in the first quarter, go all the way down and score. I would say you're giving people light. You're not giving them the whole shebang, but you're giving them life. And I will say this, and I think me and you both have kind of went ahead and agreed to this, is that Luke Fickell and that defensive coordinator going nowhere. Now we talk about the offensive coordinator situation, because Simons looks good to me. He was ripping the ball all over the place when he needed to.
That's what I was exactly going to say. Like, if you look at this game, the thing that kind of made me mad about this game a little bit is there's 3 minutes left, 3.5 minutes left. Michigan had the ball. You stopped them on first down, stopped them on second down, and then you had a third down. You didn't take any timeouts with the 2-minute warning. You had all three. So either Luke Fickell knows one or two things, which I don't think number one that I'm about to say is the case. Either he knows he's getting fired, because coaches who do that know that it's just like, well, what's the point? I'm going to get fired. I don't think he knows that. Or he just knows he's not getting fired. So, because I've heard some things. His buyout for Wisconsin, if he were to get fired, is massive. And that's something Wisconsin does not want to do, is pay somebody free money to not coach. So they're going to live and die with Luke Fickell. And I think that's the correct call. Like, again, he made a decision. He decided to just sit down his quarterback and put in somebody new. That anybody with a brainstem or somebody who says he's given up or he's not a good coach, well, he's doing something. And guess what? It looked good. Like, they covered. They were in this game until the fourth quarter. Like, it was a 3-point ball game. Like, if people cannot be mad about this game. I mean, yeah, you can be mad at the loss, fine. But it's like, you had a bye week, so you had an extra week of preparation. You probably got the guys together. You probably had some team meetings, or you probably had some players only meetings to look themselves in the mirror. Because honestly, when it comes down to, these players got to fucking play. Like, again, the defense, I say again, the defense can compete. Now, like, can they compete against Alabama? No, because that's just a different class. But they can compete in the Big Ten. Now, when you start facing Oregon and Ohio State, now that's the class we're talking about. They're not there yet. But they just went on the road to a hostile environment, a very tough environment, one you've played in, and they were in that game until the fourth quarter. I mean, all you can do is build on that. And again, Luke Fickell's not going anywhere, people. There's not a better coach, I think, that can coach this predicament and this team better than he can. I'm sorry. Like, you can talk about Jim Leonard. Don't get me wrong. I like Jim Leonard. I've always liked Jim Leonard. You've always liked Jim Leonard. Jim Leonard's a great dude. But can he turn this around just because he's a hometown guy? Okay, let's pump the brakes here. Like, just because he's from here, he went here and graduated here and was a great player, doesn't mean he's going to come in and wave a magic wand is going to change. We all thought that was going to happen with Fickell. But as you've seen with the college football landscape, as we talked about, you got to spend money. You got to spend money on players, and you got to get guys in the transfer portal. That's just how the nature of this game is. And it's really tough. It's not easy for any big program. Like, again, This isn't Nick Saban in Alabama where he can walk into a room and just say, "Here's my rings, come here and look at all the guys making money in the NFL." That's not the case anymore. It's okay, we don't have rings, but here's a check that you get every year. Okay, that's cool. Done. See you. I'll be there next week. Appreciate it. It's a different landscape with NIL and cash. So again, Wisconsin's still not ponying up the dough to give Luke Fickell help when you got Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, those types of programs shelling out cash. I'm sorry. Like, it's just, you're not going to win that way if you don't shell out cash. So, but again, I thought it was a pretty promising game. I thought it was a lot more positive than what we've seen since Alabama and Maryland. I think you can build on that. I hope you can build on that. Get some confidence because, again, it's not going to get any easier. It's going to get a hell of a lot worse before it gets a lot better, and it's going to get worse.
It's and I like to say this just quick. Yeah, I just like to say this quick because it's just something that you got to kind of put in the back of your mind here. And you've said this all the time on this show, so maybe I'm just repeating myself. But you gotta give things time. Like, people like want it like now, right? Especially here, just like hearing other people talk about the Badgers, football, all this and that. It's like, look at all the teams besides the Badgers right now. Look at Northwestern. Look at Michigan State. Look at Purdue. Look at all these other teams. Like, you don't think that they're in the same boat? So it's just like, you guys need to relax.
And again, it's a totally different ball game. Like, Wisconsin's not getting all the top Wisconsin recruits anymore. Why? No. Because they're going to go where the money is. Minnesota's not getting all the Minnesota recruits. Actually, Minnesota has a better chance to get Minnesota recruits now than Wisconsin used to, because guess why? They have money. They're going to give you cash. People are going to sacrifice. I don't think I'm going to make it to the NFL, so let's cash in now. If Minnesota's going to pay me 500 G's a year to go and we go 2-10 every year, fine. I just made $2 million in 4 years. So, I mean, taxes and all that, I don't want to talk about it because that just makes my brain hurt. But you know what I'm saying? People are going to get a jump start on their lives. They're going to get an education for free. It's different. And also, the Big Ten's different. Like, when you were there, it wasn't like this. Like, this is a totally different Big Ten. When back in the day, you had 10, 12 teams where you played 90% of the teams, you may have gotten lucky and missed Ohio State. You may have gotten lucky and missed Michigan. You may have gotten lucky and missed, that's really about it. If you missed Ohio State, Michigan, maybe Michigan State, when Michigan State was a powerhouse. Like, maybe you got lucky and missed them. Maybe you weren't. Maybe you played all three. Who knows? Like, it's a different college football schedule, or it's a different Big Ten schedule than what it's been in year past. Again, and if you don't believe me, go look at Wisconsin's schedule. Like, that is the most grueling schedule I've seen from any Wisconsin football team ever. Like, ever. And I will argue that blue in the face. Like, again, I understand Ohio State's been national champions in the Big Ten before. I understand Michigan has been national champions in this era of the Big Ten. But again, there were times where you wouldn't be playing those guys. And guess what? Wisconsin's going to play all three this year. And by the way, Illinois is really good now, and Indiana's really good. So it's a different breed of Big Ten football now. It's not the same Big Ten football where you looked at it and went, okay, Ohio State's going to be there, Michigan's going to be there, Wisconsin's going to be there. Michigan State's probably going to be there, but like Minnesota's not going to be good, Maryland's not going to be good, Nebraska, Northwestern, Illinois might turn some heads. It's not the same anymore. It's a totally different breed of Big Ten where you have no idea. Did anyone think Illinois was going to be top 15 in the country? At one point, top 10 in the country? Hell no. But they are. Did anybody think Indiana was going to be top 25? Absolutely not. And by the way, then you have Oregon, who's top 5, and Ohio State, who's top, I think, number one. I don't know. I don't know if they're number one or not, but they're definitely top five. But
Top five for sure.
yeah, so it's totally different. It is different. So uh, people got to realize that too. And along with the NIL, it's a different Big Ten, and it's going to be tough every single year. I think one team like Indiana last year got a really easy schedule. They just got lucky. They barely played anybody, and they got into, and I mean, I think they missed out. I can't remember if they missed out on college football playoff. I think they did. But either way, they got a really simple schedule, and they got lucky to do it. Where Wisconsin this year has the top, I think, top 20 hardest schedule in the country, maybe even top 10. Like, it's different, people. Like, just give it a rest. I understand it's frustrating, but it's different. So, um, Wisconsin's not adapting to this new era of college football, and they're dying. So it's adapt or die world out there, and Wisconsin is dying because they're not adapting, and that's not because of Luke Fickell. It's definitely not because of Luke Fickell.
Yeah, just open them checkbooks. The biggest thing here, before we go, they got the Iowa Hawkeyes favored
Mm-hmm.
minus
Mm-hmm.
3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Badgers, you did me wonderful
Oh.
last weekend.
Yeah.
You trying to tell me they can't cover 3.5?
You know, they were favored. Wisconsin was favored against Maryland, and they got blown the hell out. So in Camp
did.
Randall. So
They did.
that might be, what's the over under on that?
35.5.
I'll hit the over. Huh. I think the offense, Wisconsin's offense has some confidence, a little bit of confidence now. Like they did some things, they did some good things. The defense still played with confidence. I mean, you got to come out of that game and be like, we lost that game, but we were in it. It's not like we got blown out going to Alabama or anything. We were in that game until the last quarter, and we kind of blew it. So you got to have some confidence coming out of that game. I would say it could be a 21-17 game, even though that wouldn't cover, but 24-14 or 24-17 game, 24-14 game. I could see it being like that. I'd hammer that over. That might be my lock of the week out of all the 4 games we're talking here. I mean, the Brewers are. I don't like betting baseball. The Brewers are probably going to be favored by 1.5. If the Cubs are favored by 1.5, hammer the Brewers plus 1.5. Just do yourselves a favor. But if I don't see the Brewers not being favorites, I think that Vegas would be stupid to make Chicago favorites. But yeah, that 35.5, I would hammer that 35.5. That's a low, like it's college. I mean, if Wisconsin or Iowa comes out and has a great day, they could get half of that or 3/4 of that easily. So I would say that 35.5 is a pretty good option to hammer. But I could also see this being like a 10-3 ball game and deciding that we should have napped through it. Oh, it's at 6:00 though. 6:00 game. I think it's homecoming.
Yep,
Might be homecoming for Wisconsin. Oh, see, yeah, I think it is homecoming. So I would hammer that 35. And actually, you know what? If it's homecoming, you've played in homecoming games before. I mean, I've played in high school homecoming games. That's not the same. It's definitely not the same. College has got to be way crazier, way more energetic. I'd maybe take the 3.5 on Wisconsin for that then. Homecoming makes teams different, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's a different vibe. It's a different energy in the crowd. It's different. The homecoming games are different. So being home dogs, I would take the 35.5 and the 3.5 points by the Badgers. I'm feeling frisky this week. I took this. I thought I accidentally took the Badgers 17.5 last week. I didn't want to, but I accidentally did it. I thought I hit the wrong button, and it worked out for James. So, you know what? I'll ride the dogs. Let's just keep riding those dogs. But homecoming and at home, well, homecoming. Duh, you're gonna be at home. Home dogs. ride the 3.5. I'm feeling frisky. I'm feeling frisky about that one this week. So if you lose, it's not my fault. But you do what what you guys want with your own money. But it's not my fault.
No, I hear you on that. I mean, quickly here before we take you out, I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks, we're starting preseason. They won 103-98, 93 against the Miami Heat. So keep a tab on that because now we got damn near all these sports rolling at once, which is kid in the candy store, if you ask me.
Yeah, this is the part of the year where you and I have to like, man, we got a lot of things to watch. I got a lot of things to read, got a lot of things to watch, got a thing to, am I complaining
Yep.
about it? No. But no, not complaining about it. Keeps me busy, keeps me out of trouble. But you hope this year being the third year of Doc Rivers, which please just leave us all alone. Doesn't look like he's going to leave us alone, but that it is what it is. Hopefully with Miles Turner and Giannis, the new duo, that works out really well. A big that can stretch the floor, I think, is what Milwaukee has been missing. You saw what happened when Brook Lopez was doing it when he was healthy and like younger, not like a dinosaur. Um, it worked out really well. It gave Giannis more freedom. Um, you know, but they're gonna be, they're not. They got to realize they got to be a blue collar team instead of the white collar team that they used to be. Um, it's just gonna be a totally different year. But I think they've got a good makeup of a team, and guys got to step up. Doc's got to. It's really on Doc Rivers. It really is. I mean, Giannis is gonna do his thing. You hope that Miles Turner kind of performed like he did against Milwaukee and, you know, how he did in the NBA Finals and the NBA playoffs last year. You hope he does that because if he does that, I think Milwaukee could be very dangerous again. But I'm thinking probably again another 4 to 6 seed this year. I think that's pretty safe because the East isn't as tough as it used to be, in my opinion. So we'll see. But I think this year they could be their ceiling. I think is a 3, like their absolute tippy top ceiling is a 3. But I don't think they're going to be any lower than a 6. So uh, it'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting because Giannis doesn't have the help like he used to. So how are you going to manage his minutes? How are you going to load manage him? Stuff like that. So we'll see. It'll be a really interesting year. It's the first year where you where on paper it's not like okay we're not that great on paper. Where in the past years where you're like we're gonna blow teams out by 20 every game. So it'll be interesting. Again, I think if you have another first round exit this year, um, I think you got to get rid of Doc. I think you should have gotten rid of him last year. I don't think you should have hired him at all. But I digress. But it'll be an interesting year. But you heard it from me. Ceiling is a 3. That's their ceiling. That's like really good season. Everybody played their best. I think ceiling is their 3. And then I think their basement is the 6. I don't see them being within the 7 to 10 play-in game range. But I've been wrong before, multiple times. So, but you're here for me first. But again, Jimmy don't know ball. I've already said it. I'm going to stick to it. Just make sure if anybody else out there is just like, wait, I think this team's dog shit. Well, guess what? Homie don't know ball. So.
Hey, with that, people, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Big one Wednesday for the Brewers. Get that dub. How about we just
Let's
all
go.
win? How about that? How about we just win? Win Brewers.
Let's just sweep.
Win Badgers. Win Packers. Bucks win again.
Badgers losing won't
preseason.
ruin my weekend, but it'd be cool to sweep Wisconsin. It'd be cool to have a sweep in Wisconsin.
Something like maybe just one time.
We haven't had a sweep in a long time. So let's sweep the week. Let's have a great week. Let's get some dubs. Let's, as Jameis does, let's eat some dubs. But God, that guy's getting screwed over in Cleveland too, man. Jake Flacco's going out and he's not even getting a shot. It's tough being a Cleveland anything right now. So, but yeah, let's sweep this week. Let's sweep the week with dubs, and then we'll be back here next week, and we'll talk about all the dubs.
Exactly. With that, people, you guys have a great week, great weekend whenever you do listen. Jimmers, always a pleasure. Peace out, everybody. We will see you next time.
Stay hydrated.